New intel on someone other than Lauri Markkanen on the Jazz. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're growing. We need to keep growing. All right, so no trade rumor about Lauri Markkanen, and all Jazz fans can rest easy for now. This trade rumor is about Kevin Love. This comes from Mark Stein, the latest Stein line. Here's what Mark Stein says about Kevin Love and what's going on with that situation. He says, the Jazz and Kevin Love, I'm told, have not yet moved into serious buyout discussions despite reports to the contrary. It is widely known in league circles that Love is determined to play for a playoff contender at this point in his career, but it is also customary for a buyout process to progress to an advanced stage once a post-buyout landing spot is assured. The search for that spot continues for the 37-year-old former All-Star forward, who was dealt to the Jazz in July as part of the three-team trade that landed Norman Powell with Miami and John Collins with the Clippers. All right, so it looks like if a buyout's going to happen, it may not be very soon. What it's going to take, according to Stein, is a team that's willing to pick him up. Players don't want to be let go and then just not have a team to join. So this may or may not mean that Kevin Love joins the Jazz. My guess is more that they're just trying to find a landing spot for him, and I really doubt he even suits up for Utah this year until they find someone. Now, the Jazz could just buy him out immediately and just do it, but it wouldn't make a lot of sense, I guess, for them or for Kevin Love. This may be a lot of PR just to help him out, to find a nice spot for him. The Jazz have done that with players before multiple times. You know, Westbrook before, they've done stuff like that until they found a spot and then let him go and he got his new contract or whatever. Now, Kevin Love, I don't know how much value he has on the market. He does make $4.15 million, give or take, on an expiring contract. So there is value in that. If you can find some sort of situation with another team that may want to just shed some salary, Utah could do that. Now, $4 million doesn't do you a lot. The rules are you've got to be within 5 of any sort of trade. So they could make some sort of move for someone with 9, but since the Jazz are under the tax apron, they can combine him with other players to make some sort of trade, especially if they're going like a multiple player for a single player. And if I'm wrong on that, let me know in the comments. But I do know that the Jazz have more flexibility than teams that are over the apron. Now, one thing that I really like about this, and this is a trend that I'm really appreciating with the Jazz right now, is that the Utah Jazz are not just kowtowing to players' wishes every single time now. This new, I know there's a lot of different opinions about Danny Ainge, and I don't know if a lot of people have solidified opinions about Austin Ainge. The casual fan may not know who Austin Ainge is, but a lot of the fans know Danny Ainge and how things have run. But one of the things that I have appreciated the most about having Danny Ainge on this Jazz team is that they are going to make the moves that are best for them. They are not going to just make moves to make a player happy or an agent happy or whoever. They are going to do what's best for the Jazz. And, I don't think that was the case 5 years ago with Utah. 5 years ago, would the Jazz have drafted Ace Bailey with all the intel out there that he didn't want to go play for all these teams? Probably not. Probably not. But the Jazz, under Danny Ainge and now Austin Ainge, have said, we're an NBA team. We are as viable a team as anyone else. We get to pick who we want in the draft, and you're coming to the Utah. And they made that pick, and it's worked out, lo and behold. And the Jazz have held to their guns with other trades, but this is just another example. 5 years ago, Kevin Love's probably bought out, and he just goes right back to the Miami Heat because he probably wants to live there. He says he wants to be on a contender or whatever. Fine, but, 5 years ago, Utah just buys him out and makes his wish come true, and he goes somewhere on the minimum. Utah is doing the best thing for them. Sure, they want to help Kevin Love out, and if they can help him find a contender, help him get to one of those teams, that's fine. And I don't think Utah really cares because I don't think Kevin Love is really moving the needle much for anyone at his age. What I do think and what I like about this is Utah also may be holding on to him because they could use him in a trade. $4+ million is something you can add to a lot of different trades and make something happen. And there is value. I mean, honestly, the kind of the disappointing thing for Kevin Love probably is that the most value he brings is that his contract is expiring and that another team out there can shed salary. And Utah, don't be surprised if they get some sort of other pick with that contract. I don't know a lot of teams out there, a lot of contenders that have cap space to bring Kevin Love on. The CBA is extremely strict. It's extremely tough to make these things happen. There aren't teams out there that just have free space to bring someone on. If you're a contender, typically you're at the cap or over, and you can't just bring him on, right? So if you're going to make a move to bring on Kevin Love with the Jazz and you're a contender, like, name any contender out there, you're going to likely have to make a trade. And so for Utah to do that, they're going to need something back to get some sort of incentive, and that makes that a little more interesting than you think, because some of those teams, say the Lakers, who the Utah Jazz could possibly take advantage of this year with some sort of trade, they might be willing to do something just to get some cap relief. Other teams that have bad contracts that just need to release a player might do it for cap relief. So Utah has a lot of options with this. They don't have to do anything they don't want to. Kevin Love is on the Jazz. Tough. Go live in Park City, Kevin Love. Go ride the Alpine slide. Go get some fry sauce and a Crown Burger and enjoy your time in Utah, because it may take some time, and that's okay, because the Jazz are going to do what's best for the Utah Jazz. All right, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the members and the All-Stars. I appreciate you so much for supporting what I'm doing. I will talk to you next time.